everybody, welcome to SuperFly's channel. And here today I'm going to be making pumpkin rolls. Now I'll post this at the end of the video so you guys have everything that you need to make pumpkin roll. This particular recipe I've had from my grandmother back in the 70s. So I've been making it a long time. Everybody loves it. It disappears. I usually used to make 50, 60 of these because everybody wanted them. They didn't want the store-bought one. So I don't eat pumpkin roll, but since they disappear, they must be good. And today I'm going to make, this recipe calls for one. So it'd be a small can of pumpkin, but I am making 4. So I use the really big can. I don't know if you guys can see how many ounces that is.
29.
29. Pure pumpkin though. So if you buy the small one, it will make 1 pumpkin. This big one, pumpkin roll, the big one makes 4. So I always do it 4 at a time. Trust me, they go. Plus I freeze them.
And make sure it says pure pumpkin, not
Pure
pumpkin filling.
Yeah, not pumpkin pie filling and stuff like that. So I already have a lot of stuff pre-measured. I need 3 eggs for 1 or 12 for 4. I have cinnamon, baking soda, and sorry, I don't have regular salt, but salt. So I grind that up. And then I take, because it's 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of salt. But I have it 4 times all in here already mixed up. I like to pre-mix it and have it in here so when I dump it in, it mixes real well. It calls for 1 cup of sugar, but I have 4. I have, and it also calls for 3/4 cup of flour, and I have 2.5 cups. So what we do first is I crack my eggs, put it in here, and then put it in my blender. So I'm gonna start cracking. Sorry. I just do this so that there is no, oh, and I got a shell right off the bat. So just got it out. So cracking these eggs. It's a tough one. Don't want to open.
We'll apologize now for the noise. We'll try to keep it to a minimum, but there's 5 dogs.
A bird, and as soon as the bird sees us cooking,
He thinks he needs.
he thinks he gets everything. He's actually sitting right on his door waiting. And earlier I was prepping our dinner and I was grating cheese and I had to give him cheese. So let me continue here. These eggs. Actually, SuperFly text you. So, and I just feel like this makes it a little bit easier putting it in a container to dump it into the mixer.
Less chance of shells.
Yeah, less chance of shells. And when I do the filling, it's cream cheese, and it's very important that you have it at room temperature, because when you go to mix it all for the filling, if it's not at room temperature, you're going to have big chunks of cream cheese all through your thing. It won't mix up, and then it doesn't look as pretty neither, but you don't get the flavor. So I'll show you after I'm done doing this. That gave me like 2 cups eggs. So I gotta blend my eggs. I'm just gonna dump them all in here. Is it plugged in, Rochelle?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm gonna start mixing this. I like to get it nice and foamy. I don't know You guys can kind of see inside. There we go. So I just let it go, which is nice. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. So I like to make sure that they're nice and mixed, heated. There's not like real big clumps. Let me just put it up on. I'm trying to think which way I gotta go. And that looks like that's pretty well. So I'm gonna shut it off. And then I'm gonna gradually add the sugar because we want this to mix up well. Simple recipe, but since I do pour, it takes a while. I got a clump. Let's smash that. Keep on going. But I think once anybody tries this recipe, it's going to be a keeper for you. Like I said, I've been making this a very long time. My grandmother got it from somebody, I think it was from the VFW or the, what is it called? Women's of Foreign, Evolution War or something like that.
Revolution War?
I can't remember because we can also join. So I got that going in there and I'm going to let it mix around. Actually, I'm going to stop it. And I'm going to make sure all this sugar and stuff's down here. And I don't like when it does this. Got that. Now, I don't know if you can make this gluten-free or anything like that. Never tried anything like that before. Or not, wait, not gluten-free.
Sugar-free?
Sugar-free or anything like that.
I'm sure you could. There's a lot of good sugar substitutes out there. Some of them tend to be on the sweeter side. But I think if you find a decent one, I think you could.
Yeah, so I'm going to get this blended in. And I'm going to get ready to add my pumpkin. So I'm going to make sure this is all broke up. So if it gets loud for a second, I'm sorry. And when I do that back look. I like these little mini ones for some reason. They're my favorite. Oh, okay. I've been told to talk a little louder. I guess it's loud in here, which it would be. So I'm going to start adding my pumpkin. Oops. I don't like any of it getting away. I was just thinking, I don't have my glasses on, and I'm like all the time, like, what did I do with my glasses? So, but I see better without them, up close. Actually, I think this here is a little bit extra on the pumpkin, but I just add the whole thing. It's like maybe a couple tablespoons more than what I should have. So, And then now I'm going to add, I don't know if you see how pretty color that is. I'm going to add the cinnamon, baking powder, and salt. Oh, not baking powder, baking soda, sorry. Because I like to get that mixed in. And it smells good in here, right? Nice and cinnamony. And like I said, I make 4 at a time, and it goes. I made 4 for Thanksgiving, and there's not one left. But my one granddaughter's in college, and she likes to have one for herself. So I'm just going to scrape this down. Get all our goodies in there. Scrape around again. Get this going down in here. And then I'm going to mix it a little bit more, and then I'm going to add the flour a little bit at a time because I don't want a flour bath. Actually, earlier I had a powdered sugar bath. So, okay, put that back up. Let me get this mixed up just a little bit better. There, I gotta go. I'm gonna wash my hands. I actually like to clean as I go. I had a big dollop of this is called pumpkin. So I think that looks good. Looks like it's all mixed in nice. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll try to lift it up a little bit. Okay, so it looks nice and
like baby food.
Oh, yummy. So I'm gonna add
except really good baby food.
A little. Let me do it this way so y'all can see. A little bit of flour at a time, because like I said, don't want a flour bath. Maybe a little bit more. Go slow. Just leave the camera there if you want. And I just let this mix up and till it's pretty well. I'll scrape down in a minute, and then I'll put it on high, a higher speed, to make sure all the flour is all broke up in there. Turn it off.
Powdered sugar.
No, this is flour. Did I say powdered sugar?
I think so.
Oh, well, okay, flour, my mistake.
Sorry, I'm sleeping on the job.
Yeah, don't confuse me. I can confuse myself plenty good. I love my mixer. Makes baking so much easier. Now, you don't need this particular one, but I have done these by just a regular mixer. Not fun, especially when it comes to nut rolls. So let me add some more flour. And I don't have my oven pre-baking or any preheating or anything like that yet. I wait till this is done because I have to put them on cookie sheets, and I'll show you that in a minute.
Plus, they're really, really thin. You don't cook them very long.
No, you don't cook them very long, and then I will show you how I measure it, because I use a spoon like this, like a
like a ladle.
A ladle, or I don't have a bigger ladle, so I use this. And you can see it's starting to get lighter in color. And that's looking pretty. So I'm going to add the rest of the flour. Get that in there. Now I have done this and made a big mistake and added it too fast and had baths. So I'm going to put this in my sink, and I'm going to scrape around and try to get everything down in there. Don't worry, I'll be re-scraping again. Okay. And then I'm gonna let it go slow at first, just to get it going. put that in there. Oh, I got egg on my cookbook. Well, not my cookbook, my recipe.
Oh, I'm sure it has a lot of other stuff all over
Yeah,
it,
I know, like I need to laminate these or something. So I'm gonna go a little bit higher because I wanna make sure there's no lump. I kind of wish this one tilted because I feel like it does a little better. Let me turn that off. Pull this down. And I'm going to get a bigger spoon. Because I want to make sure on the bottom of this that there is no flour. And go around. Because I have had it like, oh, it didn't mix all the way at the bottom for some reason, but. And you can see this is not taking very long whatsoever. What takes long is to bake them. But this you only bake them for about 10-15 minutes. It depends on your stove. So let me do it one more time. Make sure. And I think that's good. So put this down. And then I will have to clean all this stuff too. So when I make the filling. Now I'm gonna push this kind of out of my way. And so if there's like this from the egg, I don't really use that. I just stick it in the sink. That's kind of gross. So I'm gonna move a few of my items that I have sitting here out of the way. Sorry, everybody. You kind of need a lot of space with this. So I'm gonna make sure it's all good. Off the sides, no flour. It's not, well, there's something there. I don't know if that's a lump of flour. And you see this makes a lot for 4. But if you've never made pumpkin roll, or I would start with 1 for sure. So trying to clean up as I go a little bit because I need a lot of room. So let me move this away. That's the baking soda and cinnamon and stuff out of my way. And so that looks good. Now, I have big baking sheets, really big ones. I'm using parchment paper. Oops, wrong way, parchment paper. And you can use foil if you'd like to, but if you use foil when you go to flip your pumpkin roll over onto a powdered tea towel, powdered sugar tea towel, it kind of sticks and you have to use a knife. This here will pull right off. It's way better to use this. So I'm making 4 trays. And is there any way I can get you to move that, move this over here, the mixer, just for the time being? A lot of counter space maybe for. I usually do this up on the stove, but since I'm trying to show everybody what I'm doing, trying to do it here. That was one of my things falling over. Now you're gonna wonder why I'm doing it so big of this, because when you go to flip it, you want to hold on to this so it just doesn't fall. Because you have, like I said, you have to do on tea towels. I'll show you later. So I kind of already crease these so they all sit in here. I'm gonna do this one. And I only bake one at a time. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my oven at $3.75. Get that preheated. Now I already kind of know. I take this spoon and I do 4 scoops in each one, and then afterwards I scoop one by one so that it has approximately the same dough mixture, cake mixture in it. Oh, can you fix that one right there? It's kind of, if you've got to move my cream cheese and stuff.
There you go.
Thank you. I don't need a pan to fall on me. That would be terrible. I don't know if I'm too close to the sink here or not.
Your paper's more over than
The pan is?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can see doing 4 scoops, I don't have a lot left. So I just try to use it all. Do half a scoops or whatever I got to do. Just a little bit more. Because you want it to bake evenly. You want them to, you know, be about the same size for every single one of them. So, okay. I think that's good. All right, I'm gonna put this in my sink because I have to wash that. Okay, so then I just spread it. And I don't go, like, here's the pan. I don't know if you can see. Here's the edge of the pan. I don't even always go to the edge of the pan. And I just, because they're big pans. But I mean, I could if I was making, if I wanted to make it bigger or whatever, you can do whatever you want. And I'm just trying to make sure I have it like the right consistency throughout, as in how thick. And it doesn't have to be looking, trust me, it'll go. So there's one. And I'm gonna stick this over to the stove. As long as the paper comes up this way, you're fine. So, I don't want like a thin spot for sure, because then you can tell. Not after it's rolled and cream cheese and stuff like that, but you can tell. So there's 2. Oop, that one's that close to the edge, huh? See, there's a little bit of flour. Just gonna try to whack it.
can't always get it all.
No, and you're not gonna notice it. Have you ever noticed it when you were eating it?
It usually cooks in it.
Yeah. I mean, usually a clump will stay a clump. You know.
But it cooks within it. You don't know.
Yeah. Especially if you put the cream cheese topping. And you can see, like I said, I'm not going all the way to the edge. I just try to make sure they're nice and even, spread throughout. And see, you can see there's like a little gap there. So there's that one. And I'm gonna put it over here. And my last one. And I'm gonna pull it down a little bit this way. Like I said, I like to leave this overhanging because when you grab on it and you flip it, because you flip it right away onto your tea towel, which I'm going to get those ready. So.
Multi-step process.
Yes, very much
You
so.
must love your family to do this every year.
Well, especially since I don't need it. No, like I said, my granddaughter, right there's a thing of flour. My granddaughter loves pumpkin roll, and she's in college, and she'll take one to her dorm and put it in her little mini freezer. So I would call her the starving college student, but she's not starving. So then I will bake 375, about 12 to 15 minutes. I check, and in the process, when it's cooking and the timer goes off at 15 minutes, or I'll check it at 12 minutes. If it sticks to your finger when you just touch it, it's not done. Leave it cook longer, because you want it to be kind of not sticky on top, because when you flip it onto the tea towel, it's going to stick all over your tea towel, and then it will be a mess. And I've had that happen. So let me put this over here. I just gotta make sure the dog doesn't make herself at home with this.
Not Maribel.
Oh, can you give me the cookbook? I mean,
Yeah, we're talking about you.
So I pulled out my cream cheese, so it's room temperature. You can see it's soft. Like I said, if it's not soft, you're gonna have big chunks of just cream cheese. It won't mix up with the powdered sugar. So for the, and I'm not making it yet, so you'll get to see that. It's 8 ounces of cream cheese for one, 2 tablespoons of butter, but since I'm making 4, it's a full stick, a tablespoon of vanilla, and 1 cup powdered sugar, which I have a lot of powdered sugar. So
Yes, because powdered sugar goes on the outside too.
yes,
You lay it on your tea towel.
Tea towel. I prefer this particular one best. I just feel like it unsticks better. I don't know if you can kind of put it down while they watch me do one. So, and I usually have them all prepped, but if you see my counter, you're gonna see I don't have them. And I'm generous. You wanna be generous.
This is also to help it from sticking.
This helps it from sticking. There will be little pieces of, maybe little balls of powdered sugar, but that's okay. People don't even notice it, I don't even think.
Most of it actually soaks inside the cake.
Yeah,
to be
it
honest.
melts, because you're putting a hot cake on top of this, so it's melting. This just prevents it from sticking. If you don't put enough on, it sticks. You'll have cake all through here. So I don't know, maybe if I do it this way, I go back a little bit. So I'm generous with the powdered sugar, and it's just plain old powdered sugar. I got 2 pounds of it, because I need 4 cups just for the filling. And then of course I'm doing 4 tea towels, and I only got 1 right now. And then after it's done, and I'm flipping a cake over, I'm gonna roll it up, which you'll see, and you have to let them cool down.
Because it's not, the filling will melt.
The filling will melt. You can't put it in here. You have to wait till it's cooled down. When I'm doing that process, I'm gonna probably take a little break, and then I'll come back and continue on after that. But so I think this is very well covered. It's very sticky.
It's a messy process.
It's a messy process, and like I said, I usually have my whole counter all to myself just for this process, because I like to do it all at one time and have the tea towels all ready. So I'm baking, flipping, but since I've got a whole bunch of tea towels and everything else sitting here, it's kind of hard to do. So as soon as that heats up, I'll add
319.
319. Like I said, doesn't take long. We will bring the camera over to show you, and I just barely touch it to check how moist it still is, and we want it to spring back a little bit. So I'm gonna wash my hands. Oh, plus I have to do all the dishes so I can reuse them. So, also, when you're done making the cake, you want to pre-rinse off these. Because if not, you just take them and you throw them into the wash machine, they'll still be sticky and nasty. So I rinse them off in my sink, get off any cake if there's on there, because sometimes you still get a little bit of cake. And try to get this off, and then I wash them right away, because if not, they're still like got that sugary,
goopy, nasty.
Yeah, nasty stuff. So, where are we at?
3:55.
3:55. So we're gonna take a little break while I do dishes, and or should I wait till I put in there? Because it's almost 3:75.
Let's go ahead and turn it off. We'll restart when you pull it out and stuff.
Okay, so I'm baking the very last one. I already baked the other three, and you can see it's not done yet. It's gonna be very sticky. It has about 5 minutes, and we'll finger test that. But here, if my daughter will show you, I have the 3 already rolled, and they've got to be cool to the touch. So, and this was the first one, so they're not cool. So when those are done in 5 minutes, we'll go recheck it again so you guys can see. Yeah, 5 minutes. In the meantime, so you can see it's hanging over, and you want to take and grab it like this, grab it like this, and get down as close as you can. You're gonna flip. Gonna flip it, and I take the pan and I automatically put it in my sink. Lift this up because I want this to come off. Now, if I had foil, I'd have to take the knife and do like this because it wants to stick. But as you can see with the parchment paper, how nice. And voila. Now we're going to roll it. So I take it and I go like this. And I start rolling it. Now, I get the excess powdered sugar and I put it on the parchment paper. Try to get as much out because it does make a mess. And then, as you can see here, I have them all sitting here ready to cool. And this one's almost done. This, like I said, this was the first one. It feels pretty cool. If I get done enough after I make the cream cheese, I may go ahead and pull that one out and start making it. But now we're gonna come back over here and we're gonna start letting this go. Can you see that? Okay. And like I said, I don't see no chunks, which is a good thing. So I'm gonna put my vanilla in. And then, excuse the noise, so I'm gonna turn it up just a pinch. Now this will come back together with the powdered sugar, which I put it in here just for easy dumping. Oh, I have to measure it out, so.
You got some vanilla left.
Yes, we gotta get every drop, okay. Don't hurt. So now it again for the filling, it's 1 cream cheese, 2 tablespoons margarine, 1 teaspoon vanilla, and 1 cup of the powdered sugar, which I'm making 4, so it's 4 cups. And then I'm gonna measure here. Get this. I'm going to stop this so we don't take a bath.
You don't want a powdered sugar bomb?
No. And I'm putting the whole cup in. I'm just going to go
one by one.
slow. And I'm gonna let that incorporate real well. Get this next one ready. I honestly don't know how many cups was in here because I just dumped what was left in the bag in here. I'm gonna let it go a little bit faster. Making sure. Now I'm not going to scrape down yet. I'm going to put the next one in. I probably did that backwards. Sorry if you couldn't see it. I'll try to do better. Push this up. And let it go low. How's that looking? I'm going to go up a little bit more.
Looking nice and creamy.
Mm-hmm. One more. Okay.
Sorry if the camera is shaking. It is a little powerful. It was making the camera shake.
Sorry. Gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta pay. One more cup. Get it ready. Down almost to the end of the bowl so it makes it a little bit harder. I usually have the powdered sugar in a big container, but I didn't do it this time. Tried to make it a little bit easier just doing the video with it in the bowl. And that looks good, right?
Yes.
And there's a little bit of clumps, you're gonna see. But we're gonna get rid of those, don't you worry. So put that to the side.
The clumps are not, it still tastes all the same.
It's because you just like pump and roll. And let this go. So I can mix it all down. Now when I go to scrape the sides, let me go down a little bit. When I go down to scrape the sides, I'm going to scrape on the bottom too, because a lot of the powdered sugar wants to sit on the bottom too. So turn that off. Get this excess up here. Yeah, and then scrape, scrape, scrape. You really do want it nice and smooth. And like I said, if you're gonna start out, just do one. Try it, see how you like it. Okay, does it look good there? Looks like it, okay. All right, now it's gonna go up on higher. Ready? Let's go. I can see just a little bit. It's either the powdered sugar or little bites of cream cheese. So I didn't even listen to myself. I think that looks nice and creamy, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to hook this, pop this off, and then scrape all the goodies off the thing. Now, you may ask, I try to be even with the cream cheese filling for each one. So I'll show you here in a second, but after I get all this put in here, I smooth it out and I divide it in 4 in the bowl. So I can kind of guesstimate each one has the same amount of cream cheese. Where is our bird? I'm sure he would love to have a bite of this cream cheese. Now he's scared of big items, big. That was me. They thought somebody was at the D-O-R. D-O-R.
Quiet.
So, and I'm not going to get no more. Just stick your finger on that, and people can come see Blue having some cream cheese.
Oh, he doesn't like the machine.
Doesn't like the machine.
Come here. Come here.
Okay, sorry everybody.
Up here. He's stuck behind my back now, but he did get a bite. Come here.
Yeah, he does like it. So I'm just going to scrape this down and around.
You're okay. Come here. Come on. Come.
And I try to smooth it nice and even across the bottom of the bowl. And see, I'm going to try to hold it up nice and even. That look kind of even there?
Yeah.
Hopefully the dogs don't bark again. Okay.
No, we can.
So I'm gonna divide it. I'm just gonna go like this, and that look good, and just like that. So 4 pumpkin rolls, 4 sections. So I think the first one I made is completely cool. Let's pray I did it good and it's not sticking. So I need an, let me do like this. Move this out of my way. A few of these things out of my way. So here's my pumpkin roll. And I'm gonna try to not make a mess, but I think the camera needs to push this way a little bit and down.
Okay.
Please and thank you. So I'm gonna move this out of the way so you can see I'm just rolling it out. You can see here on the tea towel, it's kind of melted. This is why I rinse them. And then I'm gonna take the one section and I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna start right where the curl is. There's like a little curl from when I wrapped it. I think I need a bigger spatula, but that's okay. This will work right now. So, like I said, I tried to make each one, you know, about the same amount of filling. Now, I don't roll to all the way to the edge, because when you start rolling it back up, it likes to squeezes out, yeah. So, but I do like it to get it in this little curl, and then I don't go all the way to the end of it. Oops, went a little bit too far, but that's okay. Just try to get it as best I can. My daughter calls the butt end, that's her favorite. So.
It's the best. It's got the least cream cheese, and it's all the cake. So it has just a little bit of the cream cheese, and it's mostly the pumpkin roll itself.
I need a sheet of foil about this big because we're going to wrap it in foil. So now I'm just going to roll it. And then I'm going to throw this into my sink where I will clean it off. And you can see it's a mess. This turns into a big mess. And then I just put it down here. I actually like a little bit longer. And I hold it. And such. Roll it up. Throw it into the freezer. Now I have frozen them for up to 6 months. I've never heard anybody complain that they taste freezer burnt or anything like that. But you freeze it, and usually before I put it out for Christmas or Thanksgiving, I'll have it just thawed, just barely, start slicing it, because completely frozen is like a brick. It's pretty heavy, but or hard, shall I say. But like I said, my daughter, my son, they pull it right out of the freezer, slice it, and eat it. So
Tastes just like an ice cream sandwich. The cream cheese gets that nice, like almost like ice cream. Best when frozen.
I'm hoping everybody will try this. We're gonna post the recipe on after we're done here, and I hope you all enjoy it and have happy holidays.
Yes. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you so much. Bye. Remember, like and subscribe. Superfly.